Hello everyone, this is Debbie Henderson from Debbie's Designs. Today I have a new project for you. It's a list pad, an altered list pad, there's ribbon around the whole thing and you tie it into a bow to keep it closed. So let me open it up and show you what's inside. So when you open it, it's one of those list pads, and I'll show you where to get that. And then I did a little bit of watercoloring and some stamping. So let me show you what you need for supplies. Now, what I did with my little list keeper, and this is, it's a list pad. I actually purchased at Walmart, and as you can see, I paid $1 for this. And these are really cute. I bought 2 of them. And they come with a magnet on the back right here to put on a refrigerator or what have you, a file cabinet. So what I did is I just peeled that off, and we're going to be using that today. For ink colors, we need basic black, old olive, Marina Mist, Daffodil Delight, and Melon Mambo. We're also going to need ribbon, and for my project I'm using Pear Pizzazz. I can't read that, I don't have my glasses on. It's like a shimmery ribbon. See, you can see the shimmer in it. It's really cute. Going to need an aqua painter, a spritzer with water inside, metallic enamel shapes, and we're going to be using these little circles at the top, and these are the silver ones. And for cardstock, we have Melon Mambo, 8 inches by 7 3/4, and we're going to score this twice, and I'll show you how to do that. A piece of Marina Mist, 3.5 by 7 3/4. Delightful Daisy designer paper, 3 1/4 by 7 1/2, and then a piece of Whisper White measuring 3 by 3 3/4. Now what I did when I chose my colors, I actually looked at the little dots at the top here, and I tried to match these colors as close as I can. So if you buy some of these at Walmart, they do have some different patterns, so just try to match what's on there because it looks really neat when you open it up and everything coordinates. The stamps that I'm using today is Beautiful You, and of course that comes with 2 cases. It's a 13-piece set. We're using the lady right here and this sentiment that says live with passion, laugh out loud, and love deeply. So let's get started on our project. Let me move all of this stuff aside. Now the first thing we're going to do, I'm going to bring in my Stampin' Pierce mat with a scrap piece of paper, and I'm going to bring in my white layer. Now we're going to be using all 4 of the ink pads, and in order for you to color, you have to have color on the inside of the ink pad cover. So what you do is you squeeze the center, open it up, and there's the ink that you're going to use. So there's Melon Mambo, Daffodil Delight, Old Olive, and Marina Mist. Isn't that a nice assortment of colors? Okay, now we're going to bring in the water with the spritzer bottle. You're going to saturate your cardstock, your white piece. This is very wet. I'm going to pick up some of the Marina Mist and see how it starts to run. I'm also squeezing my aqua painter as I do this. Now I'm going to use the Daffodil Delight, Melon Mambo, and this is really wet. And lastly, we've got the Old Olive. I'm just going to continue to add the color until I'm happy with it. And it's going to look a lot different once it dries. Right now it just looks like a big mess. So I've added color on here twice. Okay, now I'm going to just set this aside and let it dry. And we'll move on to the cardstock colors. I got this idea from Mary Brown, who happens to be my teammate on Create with Connie and Mary. I like the way she had done one of her cards. Okay, now we're going to bring in the Melon Mambo. And we are going to need a scoring tool to score. And we're scoring on the 7 3/4 inch side. And we're going to make just 2 score lines, one at 3 3/4 and one at 4. And then I'm going to bring in my bone folder and press on those 2 score lines. So there's a 1/4 inch gap in the middle, and that's what's going to help fold over your little list pad. Okay, now I'm going to use the list pad, and because this is cardboard on the back, we're going to add some tear and tape or whatever adhesive you're comfortable with using. And I'm just going to add 3 pieces vertically this way. And then let me just run my bone folder over that. And I'm going to take my paper piercer just to peel those off. And then that's going to glue on the inside, and you're going to use the score line closest to the pad and center it. Okay, and that just folds over. See how nice and neat that is? Next step is going to glue the Marina Mist layer. And that's going to go on the front. Now I am opting to only decorate the front. If you prefer to do the front and the back the same way, then you would need 2 pieces of each. Now let's do the designer paper. And these would make good projects if you do craft fairs, or for those of you that are demonstrators, this would make a nice gift for your hostesses or your customers. Okay, there's the 3 layers. Now I'm going to check on my white piece. This is still a little damp, but you can see it's coming along nicely. I'm going to pause the video and just dry this with my heat tool, and I'll be right back. I have my cardstock all nice and dry, and you can see all the watercolor that I did with the 4 different colors. It looks pretty neat. Now we're going to stamp the 2 images using basic black ink. So we're going to do our little lady first. And she's going to go over to the left. Isn't that pretty with the colors? It looks gorgeous. Now, I'm almost done my project. I've got my sentiment left, and I don't want to take the chance that I'm going to put it on there crooked. So what I'm going to do is add a little bit of snail to the back, put this down so it doesn't move on me. And I'm going to bring in my Stampin'-A-Jig. I know a lot of you guys don't like using the Stampin'-A-Jig, but I use mine quite often. If you need a little lesson, this is the time to learn it. Actually, let me move this just so I can show you. I'm right-handed, so I'm going to have this over to the left. I put this plastic clear sheet way in the corner. And I'm going to use my left hand on top and down here to hold that in place. And then I'm going to stamp my sentiment. Put this way in the corner, straight down, and I've stamped on my sheet. Now, I'm going to put this back on my work surface. And I'm going to line this up where I want the sentiment to go. As you can see, it's nice and straight. I need to find the corner right here. And see how that's nice and neat together. Make sure this is down, press down on it with a lot of pressure so it doesn't move. You're going to remove this, re-ink your stamp way in the corner and straight down. Perfect placement. See how nice that looks? And like I said, this was your last step. So can you imagine if this would have been crooked, you have to start all over again. Now I'm good to go. I'm going to add a lot of snail on this because it is a little warped because of the water. So I'm going to add quite a bit of snail. And this is going to be glued. Okay, and that's not, now it's nice and flat because I added a lot of glue. And let me measure, I am about 1 3/4 inches from the top. Now I've got one more step to go, and that's to add my ribbon. And I add this so that, let me just make sure my white, okay, I have a little bit of white here on the edge I need to cut. I want to make sure this is even. So I'm just going to trim that. And I want to add my ribbon front and back so that I can tie it. Okay, so we're going to bring in the tear and tape right at the bottom of my white. I'm going to start here and wrap it around. And I want to make sure that it's going to line up with the other side, which it does. I'm going to snip that off. And then we're just going to remove the backing. And make sure you allow enough on the end here to tie a bow. So I'm going to press this in place, wrap it around, and then end up even with this other one. So now I can cut this even. And let me see how much I left here. I left, there's almost 6 inches on each end. So now I can tie this into a bow, and my little list pad will stay closed. When I'm ready to use it, I just untie the bow. And there you go. That's my project for today. I would also cut these up at an angle. Okay, wouldn't this make a nice gift? And then of course you can put your information on the back if anybody ever wants to order from you again. Have you make some of these for them. Oh, I did forget the enamel shapes. So we'll just add a few of those in the background. I'm using the smallest of the circles. And I'm going to add 3 of them. There you go. Now I'm done. So that's my project for today. I hope you liked it. It's really quick and simple and really inexpensive to make. Like I said, you can buy these at Walmart, or probably any of the dollar stores would carry them also. If you find some that are longer, just adjust the measurements to make sure. What I did is added 1/4 inch on each end, so you have a little bit of an overhang there. Thanks for stopping by. And if you have any questions, leave me a message. I'll list all the supplies I used today at the end of my YouTube video. Have a good day.